Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And I'm very excited about, I was gonna say tonight's video because it's nighttime, but I'm gonna say today's video because you may be watching this in the daytime, or maybe you're watching it in the morning and it's this morning's video, or you're watching it in the middle of the afternoon, it's this afternoon's video. But whatever time, whatever place you're watching this video, welcome. And for those of you that are returning, come here. Come a little closer. Welcome back, bestie. And I'm very excited about this video. I'm excited about every video because I love doing this. But today's video is gonna be special because I am finally revealing the personal statement that got me into USC. Now, that is a clickbaity title. Yes, I recognize this. In the reality, I am reading you the personal statement that I wrote while I was trying to sell myself without over embellishing my accomplishments to USC to convince them that not only do I deserve a spot in their MHA program, but I deserve a scholarship as well, because that was the only way I was gonna go. Okay? And me and God, see, I don't know what you do, but me and God, we were on the same page. I was like, look, I'm gonna go here. This is the only way I'm doing it. And he was like, bet, got you, okay? Anyways, that's off topic. But I'm excited to read y'all my personal statement. Forewarning though, it is words. It is a lot of words. It is almost, a little over 4 pages worth of words. So it is long. But you know, bear with me. Or you can put this video in twice the speed, 3 times the speed, 1.5 times the speed to get through it a little bit more quickly. I, unfortunately, just have normal speed. After I read the personal statement, I'm gonna come back around and give y'all some of the tips that come to mind, or some things that I had to remind myself as for encouragement as I was writing this personal statement. Again, I said it's over 4 pages long, so it's on the longer side of personal statements in general. I feel like the standard or the average would be somewhere around 2 pages worth of words, and I would say 2 pages double space is like the standard or the average. So this is definitely a bit much. But it is for USC, so I pushed through and found the words somewhere. Fortunately though, I did have a lot of things that I did in my graduate college years, and lots of things that I could talk about, lots of experiences that I could have pulled from. So I wasn't short on content, luckily. And so with that, the hard part was, what to say, how to say it, and when to move on, right? Because you don't want to spend too much time on one topic or one accomplishment or one thing that you did that happened to you. So without further ado, I ranted a little bit there in the beginning. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into this personal statement. I'm going to leave the timestamps in the description box so that if you do want to skip this part, the reading of it, you totally can. I will not be offended. Yeah, do what's best for you, please. I beg of you. And let's get started. Also, additionally, I'm going to screen record my computer screen while I'm reading this, and then I'm going to put that in the picture here off to the side so that you can read along with me. And this is a reminder for myself to also put a link to the personal statement in case anyone would like to read it as they're listening to me read it. Sometimes that's better than watching a recording on the video, but you know, do what floats your boat. Okay. I'm ready. Here we go. I'm nervous a little bit. Okay. Being born 2 months premature meant my lungs were underdeveloped, my reflexes less coordinated, and I was highly susceptible to lung infections, hypothermia, and functional impairments. And yet, although I was small enough to fit in the palm of my father's hand, I exceeded all expectations. I persevered past these underdevelopments with the help of doctors and nurses, and the label miracle baby became a part of my birth story. As I grew up, I confronted the reality that my delivery wasn't as abnormal as I had thought. After all, Black mothers and infants are 3 times as likely to experience health complications or premature death as their white counterparts. Though I have persevered, it has become my mission to provide the same opportunity to live for other women of color and their babies. This mission has grounded my purpose throughout my academic career and is the center point of the goals I aim to accomplish at USC Sol Price School's Masters in Healthcare Administration program. Now, if you want to talk about a hook, that's a hook, baby, okay? That is a hook. It reels you in. It's a very personal story, and you learn something new about me. And then I tie it into the program that I'm interested in, and then I'm gonna go into my experiences from there. So let's continue. I knew that I wanted to work in maternal and neonatal health, but when I learned about health disparities in the United States from the perspective of healthcare administration, it gave me a niche to hone in on in such a vast industry. Health disparities too often show the disproportionate treatment, access, and quality of care experienced by marginalized communities. As I learned this for the first time, I felt impassioned to be the change, advance health equity, and join others who've already made significant progress, like Congresswomen Alma Adams and Lauren Underwood. In North Carolina, they launched the Black Maternal Health Caucus, which works to create solutions for the racial disparities in maternal health. I aim to contribute by working to reduce and eliminate these disparities through healthcare marketing and strategy. I envision transforming healthcare organizations to provide better quality of care to mothers of color and their babies through strategy, while empowering expecting mothers of color with education and self-advocacy through marketing. As I push myself to close the gap that causes adverse health outcomes, I know that USC Price will push me as a student to develop solutions that will improve the healthcare industry as a whole. Furthermore, I know that USC Price faculty will push me as an aspiring healthcare professional to think beyond the confines of my knowledge. I would like to have the opportunity to work with Dr. LaVonna Lewis, whose work in cultural competency and the healthcare needs of underrepresented populations align with my own professional goals. I also would like to work with Dr. Neeraj Sood. His work on medical innovation, regulatory policy, and the impact of quality of care will inform the changes I hope to bring to the healthcare industry. By working with these faculty members, a graduate education at USC Price will equip me to change the bias and discrimination that mothers of color and their families have to suffer through. While I continue to build my skills through professional experiences, this degree will equip me with the knowledge, resources, and connections needed to take the next step in my professional journey towards a healthcare administration fellowship at a healthcare organization. I hope to even complement my graduate education with a certificate from USC Price's Soul Price Center for Social Innovation, where I can learn about solutions and strategies that improve the quality of life for urban communities as well as advance social change. In addition to all that I look forward to, 2 past experiences solidified my confidence in the skills I bring to the table as a USC Price applicant. It's gonna get good! Oh, it's gonna get real good! Okay, here we go. Earlier this year, I interned for a nonprofit organization called the Asian American Drug Abuse Program, where I was able to manage a 3-month-long marketing campaign to build anticipation and awareness for their upcoming annual event, Showtime 2020. I initiated a strong professional presence by promptly presenting creative, evidence-based solutions to my supervisor at the first meeting. From then on, I was given the agency to implement these solutions across their social media accounts. Through my detailed content planning and scheduling, I raised their engagement rate to 13.6% and their follower count by 29% on Instagram. Assisted by the social media and email marketing campaigns, Showtime 2020 was able to raise over $160,000 in revenue and donations, exceeding the organization's original goal of $50,000 in its first year as a virtual event. My efficiency as an intern led to a temporary contract position. In this position, I effectively disseminate COVID-19 resources and information with the intention of decreasing the number of COVID-19 cases that disproportionately impact minority communities. Now, I collaborate with staff and interns in order to produce multilingual social media content in Spanish, Khmer, I think that's how you say it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it said Khmer. I don't think it's Khmer. From my memory, it's Khmer. Chinese, Tagalog, and Vietnamese. In addition to my former responsibilities, I facilitate meetings, educate new interns on ADAP's organizational structure, and serve as a liaison between them and upper management staff. In less than a year, I have adapted to the company culture and built my repertoire to become a strong mentor to our new interns. My experience with ADAP proved that marketing can make a difference not only on the audience's awareness, but also on their health and well-being. In addition, I was able to conduct qualitative research on the intersection between health disparities and long-term care for my honors thesis. Through a systematic literature review, I concluded that there was little to no connection made in existing scholarly literature between health disparities in long-term care and older adults' experiences of racism and discrimination. Even though there is an ample amount of social commentary, there was little commentary in scholarly literature on how to dissipate these issues within long-term care. During the presentation of my results at the Fall 2020 Honors Thesis Symposium, I emphasized the need to discuss more solutions in scholarly literature since healthcare providers use it as a basis of knowledge in their provision of care. These 2 experiences reinforced 2 ideas instrumental to my academic growth. The first idea is that taking the time to determine where your passions truly lie will always lead to clarity. The growth and the impact I've manifested in this year alone as a result of this exploration has intensified both my determination to be an agent of positive systemic change and my passion to advance health equity. This is why seeing USC Price and its students actively working towards inclusion through the Mentorship for an Accessible Price MAP program was exciting. I had the honor of participating in this program under the mentorship of Ms. Ghana Tamrat, who provided me with both advice and encouragement throughout the application process. Her anecdotal guidance excited me particularly about this program's residency, which involves spending 1,000 hours gaining real-world knowledge and experience. I plan to examine the causes of health disparities experienced by marginalized communities and evaluate whether organizations have established proactive preventions and solutions to counteract this phenomenon. Plus, the opportunity to interact with Black USC Price alumni at the USC Price West Coast Alumni Mixer further proved USC's commitment to providing an equitable education. The second idea is that marketing yourself first requires believing in yourself. I believe in my capabilities and am excited to continue growing in networking, leadership, and collaboration through the Masters in Healthcare Administration program. My career goals don't end at erasing the differences in quality of or access to care. In the future, I aim to create a health facility that acts as a model for accessible and equitable maternal and neonatal health. Long-lasting change requires the correction of what is wrong and the creation of what is right. I'm ready and willing to do both in order to build a healthcare industry that lives up to its promise of improving the health and well-being of all people, but particularly of those who are marginalized and underrepresented. Yes. Period. Okay. So, thank you guys so much for listening to me read. I did struggle a little bit at some parts there, but we made it, okay? Just a few notes that I wanted to share after reading it. Honestly, this is the first time that I read it all the way through since I was going through that application process. So this is the first time I'm like returning to it, basically. And one of the reasons I want to do that for me personally is because I'm about to apply to administrative fellowships this coming fall, which is really exciting. It's like a full circle moment for me because it's something that I wanted to do ever since I knew I was getting a master's in healthcare administration. It immediately became a goal for me. So the fact that I'm like getting closer to that is like really exciting. And I think it's nice to be reminded of where my mind was at during this time in 2021, and to think about, you know, what goals did I have before I entered into the program? Have I accomplished those goals? Can I still do them? Do I still want to do them? So it was a really cool experience for me. Just now, it was really cool. And then I also wanted to take some time to give just a few things that I noticed I did in my personal statement that I think that you should definitely think about. The first thing is mentioning specific things either within the school or within the program. I think those things are really important because it shows that you did your research. It shows that you really have a deep interest in the program, it shows how bad you want it in a lot of ways. And the fact that you went out of your way to find faculty that resonates with your career goals, find, you know, research centers and labs and certificates and internships and volunteering stuff. Like, it just shows how well you see yourself blending into the environment that this school or this program is going to provide for you. And the more that you can paint the picture for them, the more that they're gonna see the picture, and the more it's gonna make sense as they're making their admissions decisions. And so I feel like that's a really great angle. It's a really great detail to add in throughout your personal statement, not just in one section, not just in the beginning, not just, you know, at the very end, but throughout your personal statement. It should be throughout. Secondly, it's great to talk about your personal story. Talk about, why do you want to work in healthcare administration to begin with? What inspired you? Was it a moment? Was it an experience? Was it a family member? Was it a friend? Or was it just over time, right? Like, what led you to that? What was it? what made the light bulb click for you? For me, it was multiple things along the way, but I remember like very significant experiences that I was like, okay, definitely talk about that, right? And then the third thing that I noticed while reading is what was it? I think the third thing I realized was just like being true and honest to yourself is super, super important, because you don't want to end up anywhere that you switch back to who you really are and they're like, this is not who we want in their program, hold on. Or it's like no longer a match. Like you truly want to go somewhere where it's a match, it's a fit on both sides. And that's what, you know, the admissions team is looking for, and that's what you should be looking for as well. So right from the heart, don't be talking crazy. You know, we want to keep it professional, but definitely as much as you can, right from the heart, and express your true intentions and desires in this personal statement. It's called personal statement for a reason. It's so that they can get to know who you are as a person, what your character is like, maybe what your work ethic is like, what your interests are, and to see whether or not they can match those interests. And a big part of the personal statement is actually proving to them that yes, you can match my interests, and I'm going to tell you how. So think of it like that a little bit. So I apologize for the really poor video quality on here. This is actually my new computer, and I don't understand how it looks the same as the last MacBook I had. Like, the photo booth looking the same. Anyway, that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I decided to split this video in half because it was getting long. And so there's gonna be two parts to this video. This first part is one that you just finished, and the second part you can find it. It's gonna say part 2. It's gonna say like reading my USC personal statement part 2 or like something like that. And I'll also put a little card to it here so that you can find it more easily. Once it's up, I will add the card. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part 1. I hope you enjoyed this part 1 and that you stick around for part 2, because I share my more concrete tips over there. This video was more spontaneous tips. So yeah. And in addition, I want to say, make sure that you are following me on all of my platforms. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I also have my Instagram and my TikTok here for you guys to follow. So go ahead and click the buttons, give it a share, won't you? And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for your attention, and I appreciate it again. And have a great evening. Thank you. Bye. Oh, and before I go, I want to remind you all to please don't forget to take care of yourselves, because above all else, you deserve your best self. Bye.